Hi, everybody. Welcome to our call on monies and more monies in the shortest time possible with the fastest process possible. A lot of y'all have given it a shot with Jupiter's decrees. Some of y'all are familiar with Saturn's decrees. But before I tell you what it is that we're going to be doing in the coming week and the coming weeks, I do want to thank you all very much for keeping an open mind, for sharing your results, for sharing your detox symptoms, for hanging in there, for keeping the faith, because this process is just 1.5 years old. So it's not as well known as, say, Reiki or EFT or Access Consciousness. So I appreciate very much that you all hung in there and tried everything that was being told to you day after day for 7 days. I also want to say that healing is not the simplest journey, but it is the most important journey we'll ever take. It's like that poster on Facebook, which is attributed to God, that says, I never said it would be easy. I only said it would be worth it. And our healing journey is exactly like that. I'm going to jump off the deep end and tell you that everything about life is about relationships. The day that we have good relationships, it's a good day. The quality of our life depends on the quality of our relationships, and the quality of our relationships depends on the quality of our emotions as well as the quality of the give and take in a relationship. Those are the only two processes that happen between two people. Usually when I say the word relationship, you immediately think of a person. But actually, we have a relationship with everything around us. We have a relationship with our house. We have a relationship with our pets. We have a relationship with our community. We have our relationship with our plants. We have a relationship with food. We have a relationship with our homes. And we have a relationship with money. It's when that relationship is not okay that we have all kinds of financial stress and distress. There are 4 ways in which the money relationship shows up in our lives. 1, revenue. Revenue is not just about your income, which is what you're earning on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. Your revenue is the sum total of everything you have. So that's your inflow of money, it's your inflow of interest, it's the sum total of your savings and your capital assets. The second is income. Income is just very purely the money coming in. And again, this could be happening on a daily basis, because if you're a business person, then you know that you're looking at your books. You are settling accounts at the end of every day, or this could be on a weekly basis, or if you're doing a job, on a monthly basis. The third is expenses. Expenses are also part of the relationship with money, because it's one of the ways in which we have to give money. And the last way that the relationship with money shows up in our lives is debt. In ascending order, I just gave you a descending order. In ascending order, our lives would go from debt to expenses to income to revenue. From being completely stressed out about money to feeling rich and prosperous. From the base, which is right at the bottom of the cone that I'm going to share with you, where money only seems to be bringing pressure, because that's the thing about debt, right? It carries so much heaviness. If you think of debt, it's actually like a stone tied to our feet and this huge world on our shoulders, which means that when we have debt, there's also a certain way we start walking and being in life. We start walking slowly, heavily. We start slouching a little bit. Before I go on to share a little bit more, I just want you all to imagine this debt, if this debt had a shape, form, smell, color. What does debt look like to you? If you don't have debt, and that's awesome if you don't have debt, you may still have a sense of indebtedness. You see, emotionally, debt carries a sense of obligation. But even if we are not in financial debt, we can very easily be in emotional debt. Like anytime somebody pays us a compliment, we just don't know how to handle it. We just don't know how to receive it. Like we either have to give it back, or we have to ignore it, or we have to say, no, you know what, this is nothing at all. This is nothing. In fact, some weeks back this happened, and it wasn't like this at all. We find ways to dismiss something good that's coming. Somebody gives us a gift, in our heads we start calculating. This gift has come, this gift has cost so much, oh, I must give something back, and I must give back something at least of the same amount or close to the amount or a little more of the amount. That sense of obligation is also a kind of debt and carries the same vibration, which is the lowest form of the relationship with money. When we feel very obliged to people, we become people pleasers. We become very inauthentic. We don't say no when we want to say no. We don't say yes when we want to say yes. We keep trying to make it about the other person. And this also backfires when it comes to money. And as we go on, you will see how. Right now, if not money, think about the person that you feel very obliged to, or like you have to pay something back to, or return something to, and tell me how that energy feels. What is the form of that energy? What is the shape of that energy? What does it look like? And for those of y'all who are on Facebook, you're most welcome to write under the post that I have put up there. And you're most welcome to write in the WhatsApp group if that's where you are. I will catch you wherever it is that you are corresponding with me. Now, when you see this form, shape, and size of debt, I want you to see how you can destroy it. When you've closed your eyes and seen this, you are actually communicating with another dimension. In that dimension, everything is available to you. Every tool, every weapon, every instrument, every machine that you need is available to you. I want you to see what it is that's required to break this energy, to crack this energy and make it rubble and dust and completely release it from this dimension. I'm going to give you 1 minute of silence. Take your time. Do it. Aram se. If you're not finding it easy to do it and you need to ask, go ahead and ask. Awesome. So we have two responses. One is it is round. Round, heavy, big. What is the color? What is the texture? Is this a soft round ball? Is this a round nest that you have enjoyed holding very close to yourself? Like, look at this relationship, because when you see how it's looking in this dimension, you'll understand a lot of things that are going on between you and debt. However attached you are to it, you want to let it go. Let it go in the best way possible. Like Samada said something so interesting. She says, debt felt to me like my dad, so heavy. Samada, do you often have a sense that you're obliged to your dad, like you owe him something, like you have to fulfill an expectation that he put on you that you've not yet fulfilled, that he wanted something from you that you've not been able to give him? Zenith says it is like a bubble. Wow. So it's the easiest thing to poke and burst. Please go ahead and do it. Girish says it feels like slavery, self-punishment, and helplessness. How would a slave be? Girish, see this slave. Maybe you see the slave in chains. Maybe you see the slave only in handcuffs, but tied with those handcuffs to a pole. Maybe you see the slave in jail. Maybe you see the slave locked up in a room. See the slave, see the chains of slavery, and tell me what can be done to instantly release this slave. And by the time I said it, Zenith had already done that. And Girish says, and it feels very gray in color. Check, you could also be picking up on the metal of the chains or the handcuffs around the slave. Take a look. Whatever answer comes to you about how you're going to destroy this, destroy it. Ritu says never ending. So interesting. Never ending. How does never ending look to you, Ritu? Close your eyes. See this in your mind's eye. See this on the TV screen of your forehead. What does never ending look like to you? Give it a form. Give it a shape. Give it a smell. Give it a color. Let it become more real than this demon that you've been battling with for so long. Red mountain, thick, hard, she says, never ending. What can you do to break down and destroy this mountain? And for Samedha, it turned out to be the easiest of answers. She says, a hug of love, and it just melted down. Samedha, how are you feeling? Zina, how are you feeling after the poking? Girish says, break the chains. Go ahead, break the chains. You can see yourself come and break the chains. You can see another being come in and break the chains. The important thing is that when you break the chains, you must still destroy the chains because the chains can always latch back. How can you destroy the chains once you've broken it? Do you need a road roller? Do you need to crush it? Do you need to melt it in a blazing furnace? Destroy the chains completely. Mountains must be crumbled to absolute dust. Absolute dust must then be collected in a bag and handed over to a higher being or a higher master. You can leave it also at the feet of Lord Krishna, but you must let it all go. Jennifer says, it's more like guilt. Yesterday as I was getting a haircut, someone brought my hairdresser a cup of coffee. She was very pleased and I thought, I didn't think of that. Like you are guilty at the not giving. So your guilt is the debt. Like you feel indebted to take care of her. And Girish says, I burst the chains. Beautiful. And Zenith says, I saw the freshness of the place, feeling good. Excellent. Excellent. Ritu is blasting the mountain with all her power. And Samedha says, I burst into tears after seeing it melt down with so ease. Ritu is also using a tank. What else are y'all using? Jennifer, see the guilt, my love. Give the guilt a form, a shape, a size, a texture, a color, a smell. Make it as senses possible. As in, you can sense it in every way possible. Because right now, what's going on with debt is that debt becomes this blind spot. Debt becomes this thing we don't look at because we are continuously running to the finishing line in the pressure of paying off the debt. Now you've made it a little more real. You've made it something that you can take control over. Till now, if you've been suffering with debt, debt's been ruling your life, correct? We don't want it to rule our lives. We want to be in charge of our lives. In charge of our lives is the highest form of empowerment. Anytime you are in charge of a situation, you are the most powerful. You want to be in charge of the debt, not the other way around. Some other characteristics of debt. Once debt starts, it keeps building. Everybody dealing with debt knows this very well. It just keeps building. It just keeps growing. Because the thing about debt that we didn't know is that that's its nature. We didn't know that the moment we had the first debt, we had to clear it completely without adding to it. We thought that if we have this debt, but if we can manage more monies elsewhere, even if that's a bigger debt, that would be better. Everybody in debt has tried this. Where to pay off a debt, we've tried to take on a bigger debt. You know where that's landed you. Because, and I'm so grateful for my father for telling me this many, many years back when he was explaining money, when he was saying, listen, this is your life. And you've got to manage your money. If you're going to make your mistakes, you make your mistakes. And I remember the first thing that he said to me about money was, he said, unless you have the money, don't spend it. What that meant is, if you know for a fact that you have the money to pay off an EMI, if you have the money to pay off a loan, only then do you take it on. Usually with debt, I have seen this big confidence and faith at the very beginning. Ho jayega. It will happen. Somehow it will fall into place. And over a period of time, that faith and confidence has gotten crushed. If we've been living with debt for more than 2 years, we have very low self-esteem. We have very low confidence. We've lost our trust in ourselves. We've lost our trust in others. We've lost our faith in the universe because we actually thought that we would be able to manage. I'm going to put a small little asterisk here. Asterisk means conditions apply. In business, and I'm talking about big businesses, there is a concept known as rolling debt. Like when Ratan Tata of Tata bought Jaguar, he took on a debt of a few trillion pounds. In business, there is this rolling of debt where one company feeds another, one department feeds another, one set of debts gets offset by the profits of another. If you don't have a big business, but you are taking on debt, it is time to step back and take some very hard calls. Normally, when we are beginning our own business, we take on the next debt because again, you see that first burst of bravado, glad that the money is coming, relieved that the money is coming, grateful and thankful that at least I have the money, I can do this, I trust myself, I have the confidence that if my business will just take off, the money will come. And the next thing you know, the debt is piled up and all you're chasing is the business when what you have to chase is the paying off of the debt. And that is rule number 2 in debt. If you have debt that's either grown too much or is slowly piling up, you are turning your attention to business coming in will have very limited results. Because remember what I said about debt? It is a stone and it is the world on your shoulders. In that compressed position, in being pulled down, how will money come? Money is the vibration of joy, happiness, freedom, importance, balance, steadiness, safety, security. When we are crouched and compressed like this, we don't have it in us to handle the power and joy and relief that money will bring us. So what do? We turn to more debt because at least money can come from there. I can take a loan. I can borrow money. We must be very mindful of this going forward. If you have debt, my lovelies, and you are doing this work, your goal is to pay off the debt. I have worked on debt for 47 lakhs, 88 lakhs, and a few crores. This is about $75,000 and a couple of $1 million. It's taken 3 weeks, 8 months, 2 years, depending on the amount that we were dealing with. Debt will not get paid off in a short while. The one that did happen in 3 weeks, I put him through such a rigorous routine on a daily basis that it was almost inhuman. He had 20 things to do every day for 3 weeks. He did them. God bless him. He did it. But it's tough. It's tough to do. And every day I would add on something. Every day we would work for 2 hours together. This kind of dedication, sincerity, and commitment is really what's required for debt. I'm not saying I'm going to give you 20 things and we have to spend 2 hours. I'm just saying that the dedication, commitment, shift of focus is very important for debt. Instead of looking at the money coming in, work at what the debt is doing to you. Let me check again. How are y'all feeling? Like Girish says, the scene is colorful. I am traveling on a yacht. How cool is that? Ritu says, feeling light after crushing it to dust, feeling power, ease in the body. Now, anytime you feel ease in the body, you feel better in the body, you know what happens? I'll tell you what happens because we're all going to do it together. Please take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and just do. One more time. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and just do. Every time you do the shoulders relax, breath eases up, tummy opens up, your posture relaxes. In that relaxed position, it's much easier to attract money. And give me 1 second. I am going to share a photograph on the WhatsApp group. It's already there on the Facebook group because that's our next understanding. Everybody else, tell me what. Punita says, looks like black ash, a burn-up. Punita, how did you let go of the black ash? Because the black ash can regroup and regenerate itself, which means that you have to let go of that as well. Vandana said, to me, debt looks like heaviness and it screws me up. So it's like a heavy screw, Vandana. Take a look at it. Where is it? What can you do to destroy it? And Punita also says, black ash noose hanging around my neck. Punita, have you taken the noose off? Is the noose out? Burn the noose. Pack up the ash. Hand it to somebody. Vandana says, I see it like a slave suffocating me. It's red in color. It's burning me. How did you take care of that? Punita had already cut it with a knife. The rope was tattered, meaning the rope itself wanted to be cut. Shreya says, I feel small in front of that person if I'm yet to pay him or her. And what does that look like for you, Shreya? Punita, very much reading, my love. I will go back and forth in the responses, but very much reading all responses. Suchita, please give your input. Arka says, it's like an albatross round the neck, choking all the time. No one understands, even family. And it's possible they won't, my love, especially if you're a provider in the family, because then the family looks to you to bring in more monies and let go of the debt. What did you do to let go of all of this? Punita, how are you feeling? Suchita, how are you feeling? Arka, how are you feeling? Vinod says, I see a white background with black dots, no particular shape. Wipe it clean. This is what you're seeing on your TV screen. Just wipe it clean. See a wiper coming across, some water coming on top, rubbing it, letting it go, a cloth, wiping it clean. Tell me when it's clean. Margaret, don't worry, my love. You can write right over here. And Samidha is breathing light and easy. Wow. That's the kind of energy that money brings us. And you know this rule. Everybody knows this rule, right? That if you want something, you have to be in its vibration. How does money make us feel? Makes us feel good, right? Happy, light, easy, free. You want to be in that vibration. These are all high vibrations. Every time we are in the lower vibrations, money also starts getting blocked. And I know I wrote this in the email, but I'll say it again. So often I'm told, but Nidhu, when the money comes, I'll feel light and easy. No, that's not how life works. First you feel light and easy, the money will come. I guarantee it will come. Ritu says, feel money all around after the crash of the mountain. Fantastic. I am waiting now for Punita to let me know, Arka to let me know. Arka, black background. But what about the albatross? Did you let it go? Did you ask for somebody to come and just remove it from around your neck? Or did you realize how easy it is to just separate its arms and wings and take it off? Did you release your shoulders? And if you'll notice, a lot of the blockages that you're seeing, you all would be seeing around the shoulder area, around the feet. Some of you all saw it in front, like Zena saw a bubble. However you are seeing it, it is correct for you. Jennifer, how is the guilt now? How did you see it? How did you let go of it? What did you do? How are you feeling now? And while you all are answering that, I am posting for our WhatsApp lovelies. I am posting the picture on WhatsApp. And done. What you're seeing in that picture, actually, I've sent the picture, but let me wait for you all. Tell me how you all are doing. Tell me that you all are feeling this lightness, this ease, like something's lifted. A burden has moved away from you. Punita says a little tight around the chest. On a scale of 0 to 10, how much is that tightness? Shweta says I have no debt. However, my belief is money comes to me when I work. No windfalls. My belief, money loves work. By work, I don't mean job. I mean action. Money will come if you take action. You've come on this call, something will happen for money. Either it will come or it will reveal something. It will reveal where we are in the debt and the expenses. It will reveal where we are in the scale of the vibration. It will reveal a limiting thought. It will reveal a limiting emotion. It will reveal a limiting behavior. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. First, let me check that everybody's okay. Punita, you also said not burnt, ma. Please burn it. Arka, how are you doing? I'm waiting to hear from you. Vinod, is the background clear now? Suchita, how are you doing? Shreya, again, did you see this smallness? Like, did you see the shape and size of the smallness and did you let it go? And Arka says, yes, it is releasing. Great. Punita, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much is the tightness around the chest? Janvi, no problem, girl. You are here on the correct post. I can see what you've written. How are you doing? Did you join us in the beginning? Did you do the first exercise? Jennifer, I can see you, my love. You are very much in the correct place. So tell me how you are doing. How is the guilt? How did you let it go? How are you feeling after that, Janvi? And Kusum says, feel very easy. Ritu says, yes, as in feeling little easy, little pain on the lower back. Ritu, how much is the little pain on the lower back on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is no pain and 10 is very high pain? Samedha's lower back was also hurting since yesterday, has settled down so much. Yoo-hoo! Awesome! Awesome! And Ritu's given me a scale which is 6 on 10. Let me check. Anybody else? Pain anywhere? Stress anywhere? Something tight anywhere? A heaviness building up anywhere? Jennifer, how much guilt is still remaining? And Jennifer also says, I was thinking there was some jealousy, so let that go as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Are you at ease right now? And Punita is also at a 6-7. Arka is feeling a little anxious. Arka, tell me how much is the anxiety on a scale of 0 to 10? Punita says, where do I throw the ash? Bury it in the earth. I find it best to hand it over to any being that you believe in. Lord Hanumanji, Lord Garuda, Lord Buddha. Keep it at Lord Krishna's feet, because Krishna always has his Sudarshan chakra and his flute in his hand. So he doesn't take it, but we can leave it at his feet. Just hand it over to a higher power. Janvi says, good. I felt my father was strangling me and it was suffocating. I landed up cutting the hand and the left hand froze into concrete hands and was destroyed. Good. Fantastic. Fantastic. Are you absolutely at ease now, Janvi? Okay. Before I go on to the remaining conversation around debt, because we have pain that's already shown up, I want to give you Saturn decree for clearing. That all decrees work the same way. They work at the root, they work instantly, they work potently. At the same time, they only bring into awareness what it is that's already within us. They do not create anything. Saturn's decree, because it comes to us from the Lord of Karma himself, has even more strength than Lord Jupiter's decrees. Lord Jupiter's decrees were actually the gentlest of the lot. I'm giving you Saturn's decrees. This is how you say it. It is also made of just 4 words. And you're going to say, oh, there is heaviness in the head. There are shoulders that are paining. Neck and shoulder tight. Shweta, tell me on a scale of how much that is. On a scale of 0 to 10, how much that is. Punita is giving me a level 5. Awesome. And when I say awesome, it's because I'm so grateful that you all have given me a number, because you will see that it makes my job very simple. All right. Samedha has also got some pain. Neelam has some lower back heaviness. Ritu also has some upper thigh. Upper thigh, is that pain or heaviness? What was it? And Samedha, so sorry. Samedha was actually great news. It settled down so much. Samedha, any remaining so far? Ritu says pain. Got it. I'm going to go with pain. Okay? So what we do is we acknowledge what it is. We know it is pain. And we say, pain, please repeat after me. Pain, you can leave now. Pain, you can leave now. Sometimes I have to say it again because some of us can't believe that that's all we have to say. So I'm going to say it one more time. Pain, you can leave now. I'm going to give you all 10 seconds. Tell me, how much is the pain? Has it gone up? Has it come down? Did it suddenly disappear? Did you get something else? Like Punita got a sudden shooting pain in the left back head. Sudden shooting pain? Is it bearable? In the sudden shooting, did it suddenly shoot and leave? Samida says, not feeling any pain now. Awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. Ritu says it's much better. Where it was a 6 on 10, Ritu, how much is it now? Neelam, how is your lower back heaviness? For Ritu, in these few seconds, it went from 6 to a 2. Neelam, how are you doing? Punita says, my goodness, so many symptoms showing up. Okay, I will change direction and go to talk about symptoms. Symptoms are those blocks that are within us. Let us say that money is a destination and we are on the road to that destination. On those roads, because there is more than one road to money, on those roads, we find that there are these big, gigantic walls. We find that there are these speed breakers that our vehicle is just not being able to go over. What the decree does is break down and totally flatten those walls and speed breakers. What is in the body that has become so solid, when it is melting, liquefying to release, it can only release through the body. And therefore, it will tell us how much was actually stuck. At that moment, have lots of compassion for yourself and lots of water. Have some water right now, everybody. Girish says, pain in the middle back has disappeared. Jennifer says, soreness between the shoulder blades at a 2. Jennifer, how is it now? Janvi, were there any other symptoms in the body that showed up? Kalpana says, tightness in my knees. Let it come. Let it come. Punita says, weight coming onto the shoulders. That's the heaviness is building up. All right. Pain is bigger than heaviness. So I went for pain first. But let's go for heaviness now. Heaviness, you can leave now. It's a decree, and a decree is a general standing in front of his army and giving the command. So he cannot whisper it and he cannot think it. He has to say it. He has to say, attention! Heaviness, you can leave now. And while you don't have to say it like that, my point is, you have to say it out loud. Shweta's is down to a 4 from an 8. Fantastic. Fantastic. Vinod's background has been completely cleaned. He cleaned it with the wiper. Arka says gone, almost. And Punita says gone nearly. Suddenly short and left. Shoulders too are light. Rashmi says, I get loose motions on and off. Loose motions? My lovelies, forgive me. I know it's no fun getting cramps and having to run to the loo, but they are an amazing detox symptom. A lot of people within the first couple of weeks of doing this work lose some weight. And they lose some weight because their body starts clearing, cleansing old rubbish and starts doing it at such rapid speed that our tummies get upset. Please take meds if any symptom is unbearable. It's okay. They do not stop the decree from working. In fact, decrees support any medication you may already be on, any other process you are already doing. Vinod says, my heart is pounding heavily. Vinod, try this. Just hold the left side ring finger with your right hand for 1 minute. It will calm down. Pounding heart means the blood is now flowing swiftly, like carbon dioxide and oxygen exchange has intensified. So clearly, the heart is also rapidly pumping everywhere. Janvi says there's some heaviness in the head. The heaviness has become dizziness, Janvi. Zenat says I'm feeling tired, want to rest. Please do, Zenat. You also had a very, very long weekend and you've been doing so much other work. Please rest, ma'am. Please rest. Vinod says can't see anything. Some dark spots. No problem. How is the pounding? You focus on the pounding, that is now your symptom. Punita says slight head heaviness. And Kalpana says now it's gone to my tibia. I love that you said tibia. I love all technical terms. Feel free to please show off and use them. And Kalpana, now that it's gone to your tibia, check. Can you make out that it's flowing down and out? Energies flow down, out from the feet. You know, some of us had symptoms. Our feet were, not feet, my God, my English teacher will jump into her grave and turn. Our feet were having symptoms. Ankles were hurting. Soles were burning. A couple of toes cramped. All of these are lots of energies processing from the bodies and flowing out. Energy is not supposed to process from the head. Unfortunately, the tendency of energy is to rise, because take a look at the vibration scale. Vibration and upper vibration means it's going upwards. So all energies have a tendency to go up, which is why grounding is so important. When we are not able to ground, so sorry.
Hey, hi, people. Sorry about that. What an amazing call going on. So much happening, so much detox. Just when Nidhu was telling you to take a glass of water, you know what? Detox happened at an electronic level. Please hang in there. Nidhu will be back here shortly. Please use this time to have your water, give yourself a 10-second break, however it goes. Hang in there. She'll be back right now, very soon. Oh, and it just completely slipped my mind. So sorry about that. We have with us on the call today um, a lot of old hands, if I may use that word, with decrees and decree work. And hey, Nidhu, I was just going to ask Bhagyama and Zinat and all the old hands with decrees to say, please start decreeing immediately. And you came on.
Yay! Thank you.
I was just going to say it.
My page went. Normally the connection goes. My page went.
Yeah, huge detox happening. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm listening in the background quietly, but there's stuff happening. And then back to your call, Nidhu, and just quick reminder to you, to everybody listening in. I was just going to say, request, the seniors around who've been doing this work for a while to please start decreeing. I was only going to say it, and Nidhu, you got on. So hello, power. Okay, back to you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Where were we? We were at, okay, Jivat is feeling relaxing. Where there was heaviness in the head, Jivat, can you feel it releasing? Like you can feel it going. Punita says, I started getting constipation last 1 week, and God bless you, my love, for feeling so comfortable to share that. Mwah! Superb. Laxatives too don't help. Well, you know what to say now. You will say, constipation, you can leave now. Also hold your little finger for some relief. See what happens. By the way, constipation or anything happening in the lower abdomen, including period problems, are a contracted energy where the energy has tightened, stiffened, and saying, no, I will not open up and flow right now. And you know what that means? It means that the way that relationships take place also suffer because there are only two processes. What are those two processes in a relationship? Please tell me. Kalpana says, no pain now, only feeling bit tight. Give it another minute. Vinod said, had pain in the heart and lung. Relieved. Good. I also appreciate the fact that you put heart, stroke, lung. Superb. Punita also says, I have tingling in my fingers. I can feel something traveling from my arms to my fingers and the pain from thighs going into calves. It's trying to move out. You see the strength of this decree? It's the strength of Saturn, who is one of the heaviest planets, one of the most authoritative planets, Lord of time and Lord of karma. Kalpana says, I had really bad loose motions, had to take medicine. Take medicines, my love. Allow it to happen. Be as easy as possible in the detox. Jeevat says, little bit heaviness is there still. Thank you for saying that, Jeevat, because here are a couple of rules going forward. When we say it's still there, it's a subconscious desire to keep it. I know you all didn't know this. Going forward in our work, this sentence is not allowed. Because if you're saying it's still there, you are not being able to tell me the change that's happened, which means your awareness is focused on it being there. Whatever we focus on expands. So the desire to keep it there shows up in this sentence. The other sentence that we have to be very careful about is the yes but sentence. Like I remember Mukund had said it and I told him, remind me, I want to use this sentence. Mukund had an accident and he hurt his leg. And we gave some decrees. He got it checked. It was a freakish accident, he said. Thank God, it was just the leg that was hurt. He's okay. But the pain was very high. After we had done some work and he had done his own work and gotten it checked up, he said, The pain is still there, but it's getting better. He took the negative first and he put the positive later. Normally, our tendency is to say, it's getting better, but it's still there. You see, the mind focuses on what we say last. So once again, if the last part of your sentence is, it's still there, it's getting worse, that means there is a desire to keep it. Something else is going on. Another program is going on. That program you will understand only towards the 8th week. Nobody's fault that this happens, but I want you to be very mindful going forward. The other sentence that is absolutely not allowed anymore is there is no change. It is still the same, which is not possible. Maybe it's become worse. Maybe instead of the pain releasing, your shoulders released. Maybe instead of your knee getting better, your back became worse. There will always be some symptom. So that's the other sentence that is not allowed. The yes but has to be used with the positive at the end. It's still there is not allowed. There is no difference is not allowed. It's still the same is not allowed. Whatever you are aware of, oh, my left eye is flickering a bit. It's okay. Oh, my legs are feeling heavy and I want to sleep and I ended up sleeping 12 hours instead of my normal 8. That's also a symptom. Whatever happens, share it with the group. There will be something in there either for me to respond to or for your own awareness to be aware of. Let me take a look at what else is happening. And now that we've given the decree, Punita says, googly is happening in my tummy. Yay! And Reshmi, you've been having this. This is good, Ma. This is good. Please make sure that you're staying hydrated. Please make sure that you are eating good, light food and not harassing and bothering the digestive system beyond that. Jennifer says, how about water retention in the feet? How about it, my love? Water retention is, of course, a swelling. Swellings are signs that the energy wants to leave but doesn't know how to. It's not being able to leave. Hi, Joanne. Don't have to be on the WhatsApp group, my love. From tomorrow, everybody will be on the same group. Janvi says things are moving, whirling energy in my head. So you know what? We won't give another decree. Like any other decree, the decrees work forever. So even though I am not giving another decree, when I check back in the next 5 minutes, I guarantee you all will still have some reactions. Janvi, if it's feeling a little too much, Ma, and you need to rest, please go and rest. No problem at all. Resting is allowed. Eating is allowed. Washroom breaks are allowed. Yawning, burping, sighing, lying down, drinking water, everything is allowed. Be comfortable totally. Okay, my lovelies. Everybody now on the group and on the Facebook page, y'all have the picture to look at. Take a look at that picture. I'm so glad to report that Jeevat is feeling relaxed. Let's see what's going on in our other groups. And Ritu gave me the answer to the question that I asked, which is what are the two processes in a relationship? And when I say processes in a relationship, I mean processes in all relationships, whether you're having it with your family, with your peers, with your colleagues, with your boss, with your neighbors, with distant family members, with your siblings, with your pets, with your animals, with the earth, with the sky. It's the same process. And the process, Ritu says gifting and receiving. And I love that you said gifting. So the process is giving and receiving. But Ritu, I like yours better, so I'm going to use that. Gifting and receiving. Because what she's really said in that is that everything we give is a gift. Oh, I love it. Now, you take a look. Oh, so sorry. Nilesh says, how and when do we ask? Or I just joined. How do I start the decree? Nilesh, when you joined 11 minutes back, did you get the decree? Did you get the decree? Did you repeat anything after us? Samida says, sudden acidity. Samida, hold your middle finger quickly, ma. And also sleepy. Samida, close your eyes, doze off. It's absolutely okay. Don't disconnect from the call. If you want, you can put the call on mute. Stay with us. Go and rest. Nilesh, Sameda has posted the picture. That's the picture. Nilesh says, I did not get the decree, nor did I repeat anything. Don't worry. Not to worry. Flow with us from where we are. You know how a river flows into the ocean and how tributaries meet the river at various points? Even if you've joined us late, you are the tributary meeting at that point. Flow with us. When the call finishes, you can listen to the replay, and of course, towards the end, I will be repeating everything again. When you look at this, because our focus is debt today, see where debt is in the scale of vibrations. It's in the lowest, because the thing about debt is not just that it robs us of our self-esteem and our confidence and robs us of breathing properly, because it puts so much pressure on our chest and our shoulders and our head, it brings a lot of shame. You know, we can sit and talk about the fact that we didn't get enough at work. We are not getting paid enough at work. Our KRAs, were not given good appraisals. We can express feeling bad. But debt is hard. Only when we are doing specific money work do we feel comfortable to talk about debt. Is that not true? It's not the easiest thing to say to somebody, I have debt. I'm dealing with too much debt, because there's shame attached to debt. Along with that shame, if you're a guy and man with debt, it becomes attached to manhood, because men are traditionally the providers in the relationship. If you are not being able to provide, you start questioning your own self as a man. If you don't have a supportive, understanding family, the family also starts questioning it. You start doubting yourself not just as a human being, you start doubting yourself as a man. So for men in debt, the pressure and shame is even deeper. What do we want to do? Of course, we want to get more money. Of course, we want to focus on what kind of avenues, revenue streams, and other verticals we can open up for ourselves. But keep in mind, my lovelies, the first rule of debt is not to focus on the incoming. You have to focus on the paying offing. I'm going to tell you one way to do that. For debt, you must have a debt drawer or a debt envelope or a debt jar. Whatever monies come in, 10% of that money goes into that jar. Let us say that you have debt of 100 and only 10 rupees is coming in. What are you going to do? You are still going to take 1 rupee and put it in the jar, in the envelope, in the drawer. The other mistake that we make in debt is that we start dreaming of a big figure. We start dreaming of a figure that includes the debt and includes the money we want. So if we have a debt of 100, nobody has ever called me and said, I want to work on the debt of 100. I have gotten the call to say, I want to work on 500. And when I've said, where are you? When I've checked, where are you in your relationship with money? Is it debt? Is it expenses? Is it income? Is it revenue? And it's debt? Then the debt turns out to be much lesser than 500. This hope is a beautiful hope, and please forgive me for taking it away, but it cannot work. To have 500, to be in the vibration of 500, look at that figure. Just look at that figure. You have to be in the figure of revenue. Revenue is peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, which also goes into income. You have to be there. Does debt allow you that vibration? No. Debt can only attract more debt. And therefore, wherever you are right now, do some serious contemplation and a reworking of maths about your debt. So glad to report that while I was saying all this, Janvi wrote in to say it's gone. That moving, whirling, dizzying, heavy energy, it's gone. Isn't this amazing? How cool is this and how cool are we for knowing this and being able to use it? And Nilesh says, I'm getting goosebumps all over. Wow. Goosebumps can mean a release, can also mean being in the presence of truth. Like when we realize that, something shifts in us. Like our whole body opens up. It's like the pores of our skin open up. And let me check how everybody else is doing and how are they responding to everything that I'm saying. Bhagyalakshmi Ma, please go and rest, Ma. You have not been well. I know, Ma. You have not just had freaky accidents of your own. You've also been unwell. Please rest, Ma. Please rest. Thank you very much for coming on and being here. Thank you. Thank you all of y'all who were tired, unwell, but still showed up. I appreciate you very much. I value you deeply. Thank you. Thank you. Punita, how are the googlies? Kalpana, the pain that became a calf pain, how is that now? Vinod, how are you feeling? Shraddha, how are you feeling? Suchita, how are you doing? Arka, how are you doing? You had also had anxiety when we started. How is that now? Thank you for asking that question, Nilesh. I will definitely take a look at that answer and post it on the group. Right now, going to the next understanding of debt, which is reasonable goals. In money work that I do around income and revenue, I ask people for outrageous goals, unreasonable, inhuman goals. I'm going to take a water break, my lovelies. Give me 1 second. And thank you, my lovelies. Thank you. I hope everybody took advantage of that silence and had some water break. Those of y'all on the replay, my apologies. I think I know what happened. We did some very, very heavy work, Neelu and I, on the same call just some time back. And because it was so huge, in fact, it's one of the biggest works we've ever done, I know that some amount of that processing is also still taking place. All right, where were we? Reasonable goals. In debt, first of all, always to keep filling the debt jar. Now, the debt jar is not called the debt jar, jar being the bottle or the drawer or the envelope. On that, all you will write is monies. That money is never to be touched, even for an emergency. Because here's what happens. You start filling the debt jar and the debt envelope and the debt drawer, and then you don't have the money, and somebody asks you for something, or you feel like buying something, and you say, I have it there, it's there, I'll pay off the whole debt as a whole, I'll spend this right now. All of these are ways in which we keep debt going. In debt, it is very difficult to have grandiose goals for money. Because first, the stone, the burden, the rock, the albatross has to leave, and leave completely. Like right now, I will ask again, what does debt mean to you? Give it to me in a word. So you're not looking at the form, just give it to me in a word. Neelam says, some pain in the right leg, and Samida says, oh, it was 0808. Wow. Wow. That's a great number for money. But for some of us, first that number brings expenses, and then it brings an inflow. Samida, how is it for you? Ritu says, some lumps in the legs sense some pain going out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Give me a word. Nidhu, if you have just joined us or can join us, please, you're most welcome in, Ma. We still have some time to go. Give me one word for debt. What does debt mean to you? Complete the sentence. My debt is, for those of us who don't have financial debt, my indebtedness is, give me an adjective. Fear. Ankuli says fear. Fantastic. Ankuli, what is, and check the vibration of fear, Ankuli. Like Jennifer, you had said guilt, my love. Oh, the soreness is also gone. Awesome. Awesome. Check. What is the, Janvi says amount to pay and give. Yes, my love, but I want an adjective. Like I want a description, not definition. What does it mean to you? Debt is? Nilesh says, my debt would mean liability. And what emotion does liability bring up in you, Nilesh? Ritu says heavy. Debt is heavy. Rashmi says limitation. Ankuli says uncomfortable. Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10, measure for me the uncomfortable, the limitation, the liability, the heaviness, the fear, the burden, the chokedness, the shame, the trapped. Measure it for me. Punita says extreme tiredness but can't rest as at work. Googlies are settled. Oh, awesome. Awesome. The obligation. Just measure it please for me on a scale of 0 to 10. You can see these words, right? What are these words? These words are expressions of the lower vibration. At lower vibration, no money is coming in. Money is, in fact, going out. Punita says it's shame, guilt, fear. Take the biggest feeling in that, Punita, and rate it. Kalpana is at a 9 for shame. Thank you, Kalpana. Thank you for your honesty and your openness and willingness to be vulnerable. If you have heard of Brené Brown, she writes about how vulnerability is the power in the world and how that's going to shake everything up. Like vulnerability is the latest rebellion and revolution. And I hope I got the name correct. Rashmi says 3, Ritu says 7, Nilesh says 5. There's also the fear of the unknown. And Samida says there's a little pain in the lower back. Samida, the pain in the lower back is how much? Punita, give us your number. But Kalpana, you are the standard for the group right now because you are at the highest. So if I check with you, it would have also worked with the rest of the group. What are we going to do? We're going to do the decree. What is the decree? You give the name and you say, you can leave now. So, obligation. You can leave now. Burden. You can leave now. Choked. You can leave now. Shame. You can leave now. I am saying it for everybody. You only say it for what is your description. And check. And Nilesh says, so much releasing in the entire spinal column. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at the scale of vibration again. Oh, you know what? Let me give you all 1 minute. Like I just take it for granted that everybody will just detox and go on, and I will take a water break. And I shall clear my throat. Please excuse me. And Gary, hi Gary. Gary says, killing my loneliness. Killing my loneliness is the description for debt. And Ankuli says, I have just received one payment. Is that I just received one payment and great news, or I have just received one payment, bad news? What is that? Lots is also happening for Nilesh at the back of the solar chakra and the back root chakra. Good, good. Because if you look at the colors on the scale, the colors are the colors of the chakra. Debt hides in the root chakra. So the lower part of the body, the coccyx area, the tailbone, the pelvic area, this can start paining a lot and start having many shifts. In working around debt and what that debt means to us, right now we're also healing our root chakra. And everybody knows what the Sanskrit term for root chakra is. It's Mula. It's Mula Dhara, the flow of Mula. So come on, open up. I'm so excited to see what will happen for you all in the next 24 to 72 hours. Lower back pain for Samida was 5. How is it now? And Punita says pain around lower thighs, and the knees. Continue. Pain around lower thighs and knees has to do with pain with the parents, Punita. These are things we will look at in more detail as we go on. Not in the next couple of weeks, beyond that. But that's what it really is. When you gave the decree, what happened to the pain? Because this is not giving me the awareness of the shift. Kalpana says feeling tightness in the stomach, tingling around the chest area, and pain in the lower back on the right side. Tingling is nerves opening. Tingling is when nerves are extremely strained. So tingling sometimes is also a good thing. Like you can have a happy tingle. I remember in this movie, the latest Spider-Man movie, his aunt, Aunt May, Peter Parker's aunt, she calls it the, are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the tingle? Are you feeling the Peter tingle? And he's, of course, most embarrassed. And he's like, please don't call it that. Please don't call it that. So tingle can also be this other sense, your sixth sense, and it can also feel nice. But usually it is a sign of very strained nerves. Punita says just yawned after saying it. Good. And you may continue to yawn in every couple of minutes. Girish, how is the sense of obligation feeling? Janvi, how is the burden feeling? Jennifer, how are you doing, Ma? Margaret, how's the throat? Suchita, Shweta, I've not heard from y'all. How are y'all doing? Shweta, I'm trusting that you are back. You can hear the audio. Kalpana says, yes, somehow feeling good. Good. That is the vibration of money. While y'all are already processing this, let me ask you the next question. Complete the sentence and say the first thing, not what you think it should be. Say the first thing that comes to your mind because you may be surprised at your own answer. Money is, give me an adjective. Samida's pain from 5 has reduced to 3. Good. You check in the next few minutes now. It will go. Ritu is also down to a 3. And thank you, Samida. Oh, every time you're saying it, I'm missing it by a minute. She was saying 818. All of these are our angelic numbers calling our attention, telling us something. Janvi says things are changing. I can feel it. Letting it go, adding play while listening to the call. The cat is here. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Cats, dogs, puppies, kittens, babies, grasshoppers, butterflies, dragonflies, all are most welcome. They support us, and they amplify and intensify for us, especially pets. Pets come to support us. Nilesh, there's so many sparks in each pores, within and all throughout. Beautiful. Rashmi says money is energy. I want to know what money is to you, my love, because money means something to you. What does money mean to you? Give me an adjective. Give me a description word. Nilesh says money is abundance and joy. Money is fun, joy, says Ritu. Wonderful, wonderful. Kalpana says it's power. Margaret is a little better at a 5, and we'll check again after a few minutes and see what happens. Punita says when I give decree, it eases for a while, returns later. And thank you so much for that also, my love. I forgot that was the 4th thing that I want you all to be very mindful of. It cannot return. It will return after 20 years because that's how energies work in the body. What happens is that the next layer reveals itself. So instead of saying returns later, say the next layer is coming up. And Kalpana, I said that. You said power. Money is power. Margaret, what is money to you? Jennifer, what is money to you? Suchita, what is money to you? Vinod, what is money to you? Money is? Rashmi says money is freedom. Ritu says my lower body is in ease. Fantastic. Like how cool is this, right? How amazing, how cool, how powerful, like how blessed we are. Nilesh knows how to give the decree. Nilesh, like I gave it, like I took a name and then I said you can leave now. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're not missing anything. Flow with whatever you are understanding. Janvi says money is burden. Everything is revolving with this word, and I'm assuming around this word. And Girish says money is power and control. Jennifer says love came to mind. Therefore, if you're not having money, you're not having these. Correct? If this is what money means to you, then this is what you need to have for money. Like this is the other thing I hear a lot about money. When I have the money, I'll take the action. But the money you are not having is the action you are not taking. The money you want to take the action is the action you need to take for the money. Did I complicate that? I will say it again. The money you want to take the action is the action you need to take for the money. And Neelu says, so true what you say about layers. Let's just peel the onion, I say, irrespective of whether one likes being in the kitchen or not. Although peeling the onion will also make us cry. But true, we peel the onion. We peel the onion, then we cut the onion, and then we put it in our food, and we put it in our salad. We gobble it up and enjoy it very much. Ankuli says money is power, energy to me. Nilesh is yawning. Good. Okay. What can you do right now to have the love, to have the power, to have the control, to have the joy, to have the freedom? What can you do right now that has nothing to do with money? And Jennifer says, giving love today. Superb. Superb. If you are giving love today, you are in your money vibration. How can it not come? It has to come. It will find you. Punita says, happiness. What can you do today itself to be happy, Punita? Nilesh says, throttles in the spine. What's happening? I'm just bouncing. In a good way, Nilesh. I think you're just picking up on the work that's going on and responding to it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Ritu says, I'm having fun and being joyous. Fantastic. Or is that what you have to do? Kalpana says, feel happy and keep smiling. Superb. Because that's the thing that doesn't take place in debt, does it? You know how we lose our smiles in debt? We age in debt. Because we also start walking like that, you see. So the digestive system goes for a toss. Because when we are compressed like that, the stomach also gets compressed. It's not able to do its work properly. So when digestion goes for a toss, absorption goes for a toss. Releasing waste material goes for a toss. The entire process of ingestion, digestion, and excretion goes for a toss. What can you do today to be in the money vibration? It has nothing to do with money. Can you smile a little bit more today? Can you stand a little taller today? Can you give money to someone today? I was telling you about putting aside that 10% in the jar. Well, 10% also has to be given away. If you're in debt, I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. When I say give away, I do not mean lend. I do not mean loan. I mean give away. Give it to your house help. Give it to a beggar. Give it to a charity organization. Buy food with it and feed animals. It has to be given away, even if it's 1 rupee, 1 penny. Not just in debt, in almost all money work, we are not grateful for the amount of monies coming in. And you all will remember that this was one of the days in the week where I said I forgive myself for not being grateful for any and all monies coming in just because it was not what I thought or expected it would be. Every time you smile at someone, do you not want them to smile back? Every time you do something for someone, do you not want them to say thank you? It might embarrass you. Like sometimes I get very embarrassed. I'm so happy to just do it, and then somebody says thank you, and I feel, oh my, I hope they're not feeling obliged. I was just happy to do it. Do you feel like that? It's a relationship. If you are smiling, money will smile back. If you say thank you to that 1 rupee, that 1 rupee will become 1,000 rupees. Because more of it will want to get that thank you. You smile at one person, more and more people will start smiling at you. In fact, in the last 1 week, those of y'all who've done Jupiter's decrees, did you all smile a little bit more? Did more people smile at you? Like you all saw the amounts of feathers that were coming in? Like it was like raining feathers, right? Just feathers, feathers, feathers falling everywhere, right? Because the moment we say, I am willing, I am willing, I am willing, we are willing to be in touch, connected, and in the flow of the universe. The moment we say, I am willing, I am willing, I am willing, I am in touch with angels, guides, ascended masters, God. Whatever happens, when you begin doing the I am willing, I am willing, I am willing, even if money has been going out, you will still be safe and protected. Punita says, go home right now. Punita, go home right now. Go home right now. I promise it's going to be okay. Kalpana says, I'm all the time at the cash register telling my customers thank you and smiling. Beautiful. Beautiful. Send us a picture of you doing that. Awesome. And Punita says, oh, okay, you were joking then. Okay. I took it very seriously. And she says, on a serious note, eat a hot chocolate fudge without feeling guilty. Do that. Just do it, my love. Have it. Girish says, I can do writing, walking, meditation, spending time, communicating with family, reading. Wow! Wow! Have you been stopping yourself from doing that? Because here's the other thing about debt. In debt, we think, I will begin my life after I have paid off my debt. As if debt has become this death sentence. Debt is debt, my love. Invariably, each one of us will go through it in our lives. Either we will go through financial debt or we will go through emotional debt. But we will go through it. It's one of the experiences of life. And life is a experience sport. It's not a spectator sport where you sit on the sidelines and tell somebody else what to do, or you sit on the sidelines and say, can you please get rid of this for me? Or can you please take this away from me? No. You jump in, get your hands dirty, mud on your face, roll around in the snow, appreciate chocolate, love a rose, hug a baby. That's life. You experience everything, including death. And I'm going to take my next water break. And Girish says, yes, I had been stopping myself from doing the above because you were waiting, right, for the debt to get over? If we wait for the debt to get over, the debt won't get over, because anybody who's been dealing with debt for a while can see that it's been too long. You thought it would get over that time, that year, that month, and it's still here. Do not hand over power to debt. Take your power back, which is the first exercise we did. And everything else that keeps coming up around this when you do it, keep releasing it with the decree. The decree we will practice and learn deeper and better over the next 1 week, because that is our first work, where we will look at words around debt. We will do clearings around guilt, fear, shame, the word debt itself, and see what happens for us. The work begins tomorrow. The 4 relationships of money, the 4 forms that relationship with money takes: debt, expenses, income, revenue. These are divided into 4 weeks. You all don't have to take 4 weeks at once. You can take just 1 week at a time. Practice with me. Practice with the group. In the Bible it says, where there are 2 or more of y'all, there I am. God exists in numbers. When you show up to do this work, your presence helps everybody cosmically. Cosmically means I can't give you a measurement. I can't say your presence gives us 20,000 tons of good energy. Your presence gives everybody grounding, and everybody then working with the same focus and goal means it will manifest faster, means the clearings will clear faster. So thank you very much for doing this, not just for yourself, but also for each other. Please come. Look at your vibration scale again. The two forms, the two processes that take place in relationships, which is giving and receiving, or as Ritu said much better, gifting and receiving. Let me tell you how that takes place in the entire section. In debt, we can neither receive properly nor give. Because unless it's money that comes without obligation, it just adds to the debt. So the receiving also gets blocked. And because there's the pressure of debt, giving also gets blocked. Oh my God, the money is going. I need the money to come in. I have all this debt to pay off. Both get blocked. Imagine a relationship where you are made of stone and are neither giving nor receiving. Where is that relationship going to go? Please tell me. Nowhere, correct? Only the stone keeps becoming more stone. In expenses is about giving, because giving comes first. Would any of you all like to try and tell me why giving comes first? Like, what is this, Nidhu? If I get, I can give now. Why are you saying giving comes first? Can you guess and tell me? Why am I saying giving comes first? Or gifting? And Ritu says, body so light and easy. I received 100 rupees now. Yay! Awesome, awesome. I gave 150 to the house staff. He gave back 100. Fantastic. Fantastic. What if this doubles tomorrow? And Samida says, gratitude and love now. Ritu is smiling. Neelam is feeling joy. And Rashmi is also being more open. Nilesh, how are you doing? Shweta, got your money, girl? You will definitely get the replay. Yes, Kalpana, it's on WhatsApp. I'll just resend you the picture. There you go. Margaret says making space. Making space as in, would that be decluttering, Margaret? Or just making space? Ankuli asked, did I miss something? Not at all, my girl. Not at all. I should clear this fear of debt. Absolutely. How will you use the decree? And Jennifer says, giving keeps you open. Superb. Giving keeps you open. Okay. Does receiving not keep you open? Neelam says, feeling meditative. Good. Slip into the meditation. Why giving first? Why right on top of debt is expenses? And expenses mean what I have to pay out. Whether it is a necessary bill or whether it's a luxury item. Expenses is the next form of monies in our lives. Why is that prior to everything else? Like, why have I not put income there and then put expenses? Okay, I'm just going to give you the answer. Although Kalpana says giving makes me feel happy. Fantastic. Jennifer says giving keeps you open. Ritu says I keep giving. Wonderful, wonderful. The reason why giving has to come first is because receiving is never in our hands. We don't know whether the other person had a fight with his or her mother-in-law, or their boss was bad to them, or they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. In receiving, we're always in trust, faith, and surrender to the universe. It is not in our hands. What is in our hands is the giving. As you all saw on the group as well, my lovelies, when we were doing Jupiter's decrees, I kept asking, right? Every time somebody was saying, oh, this is a bill, I've had an unexpected bill, I was saying, how is that making you feel? Because what that told me was the vibration of the expense, was the vibration of the giving. In the circulation of a relationship, like love has to be given and received, food has to be given and received, water has to be given and received, life has to be given and received, money has to be given and received. If my giving is blocked, tell me, how will it circulate back into my receiving? There is nothing else. There's giving and there's receiving. Giving happens in the right side of the body. Receiving happens in the left side of the body. I give from here. I get from here. If my this is blocked and closed and contracted to my body, what will happen? At the end of the day, my body has only one energy. My body doesn't have a separate energy for giving and a separate energy for receiving and a separate energy for my head and a separate energy for my foot. It's the same energy. If it's contracting in one place, it will start contracting in other places. If my giving is blocked, my receiving will start getting blocked. And vice versa. Because if you look at the next one, it's income. What is income? Income is receiving. What happens when you have an income? What happens when I pay you a compliment and say, I think you're gorgeous. I love your hair. You're beautiful. What happens? Instantly, are you thinking, no, actually, I'm not. I'm just average. My hair is really not that great. I don't look so good. 20 years back, maybe I did. Now, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks for saying it. But yes, but what happens? What happens with your incoming? Why do I ask you to check for compliments? What do compliments have to do with money? When I say keep your awareness for all the symptoms, one of those symptoms is checking for an increase in compliments. Smiling more. Why compliments? Because compliments tell me how you receive. Compliments also tell me how you give. Do you like getting compliments but hate giving it? That tells you something, and it will tell you where you are in the vibration, in money and in life. The last one, revenue. In revenue, because revenue always means knowing how to expand, knowing what risks to take, knowing where to invest. There is an inflow and an outflow. Maybe some amount of contemplation around the inflow, some amount of contemplation on the outflow, but there's no blockage. And if there is, it's minor, gets over in a few days. And Girish also had a thought, which is giving is faith in action that we will for sure receive abundantly. And I guarantee you this, Girish, because the universe doesn't know any other way to be. If you give, you have to receive. For those of you all who have not read my 6 myths of healing you needed to bust yesterday, and if you're comfortable reading, please do have a read to it. Because the mistake in thinking that we will receive when we give is thinking we will receive the same back. That because I gave this, I must get the same back from the same person. It need not happen like that. Wherever you give, you will get it back, guaranteed, not necessary from the same person and the same amount. Let me tell you that each one of y'all has a Lakshmi who is of a certain size in you. When you give, you will either get back double, triple, quadruple, or 10 times over. I want you all to watch out for this. When you're paying your expenses or when you're giving, like I've told you, if you have debt, you've got to give 10% away. Even if you're giving it to your wife or husband or child, you must give it away. Ideally, give it to a woman or give it to a girl. Women have the capacity to manifest and multiply. So what you give to a woman, she can multiply for you. What you give to the feminine, she can multiply for you. Give in peace. In 3 days, check what comes back to you. Maybe money doesn't come back, but you get a voucher for 20 times the amount. Keep your awareness fully open as you do this work, because your awareness will tell you that you are not in poverty consciousness. You are actually in prosperity consciousness. The opening that will start taking place in your bodies, in your emotions, and in your thoughts will also clear the way to monies opening up to you. If you are closed in a relationship and keep expecting the other to make the effort, tell me what happens. What happens? The other person stops giving. Money is the same relationship. When you give, money will give. Money will return. It always does, by the way. Always. And Kalpana says here in America, people are very lavish and generous with compliments. Beautiful. How do you receive? And how do you give them back? And Kalpana says, giving makes me feel light. Beautiful. Beautiful. Punita says, giving and doing for my kids makes me the happiest. And I'm really bad with expenses. Okay, let us see how this week goes for you. Investments. The work that you're going to be doing is an investment, not just in your bank balance. It's an investment in your life. Can you make it? Will you make it? I'm asking you to make it. And on that note, my lovelies, our call will close here today. Please do have a listen in again. Make your notes. I am going to give you Saturn's decree one more time, the decree that we are going to be focusing on for the next 2 weeks. The first week is the week on debt. The next week after that is the week on expenses. And then after the new moon, we will work on income. And the last week, we will work on revenues. I'd love it if you all were there for all 4 weeks. The entire work is actually about 13 weeks. 1 week, some of y'all have already done. Some of y'all have also done 13 weeks. Y'all are most welcome to come back and do it again, because for y'all, it's a pay as you like, because you've already done it once. Punita says, have had more compliments this week. Very nice. आपने हमें बताया नहीं. This is awesome. Please keep your awareness open. Share on the group. Share the compliment also that I was told dash, 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 dash. Tell us a little bit about you so that we also keep it in mind when we want to pay you a compliment. Thank you, Kalpana. She says, really enjoyed and feeling great and very energetic. Awesome. Awesome. Let me just check how everybody else is doing. Gaurav, I don't know if you've still joined. We are just finishing our call, but the replay will be on in the next 10 minutes. Ritu asked, what are the charges for the 13 weeks? Ritu, I will just ask Neelu to resend you that part. I'll put up that part on the group as well. Please feel free to ask me anything you want at all. As you do more weeks, we will be doing more calls. In fact, with the 13 weeks, you also have a 30-minute session as a one-on-one with me. So please come for that. I normally charge almost that amount for just the session, but as part of the package, it is there inclusive in the work itself. I thank you all again very much and remind you that when you show up, you don't just show up for you, you show up for everybody else. I send you big hugs and lots of love. Namaste from India. I will see you on the groups should you have any more queries now.